Hi dears, I hope you are all doing good. In today's session, we'll discuss about D365 Finance, Project Management and Accounting module. What is project management and accounting? A project is a group of activities that is designed to provide a service, produce a product, or achieve a result. Projects consume resources, items, expenses, and generate financial result in the form of revenues or assets. Now let us see what are the industries involving project management and accounting. As you can see on the screenshot, industries like call center, consulting, accounting, marketing, legal, advertising, construction, and manufacturing are some of the industries which can use project management and accounting. Consulting companies such as management or technical consulting organizations or advertising agencies refer to these activities as projects. In marketing, a campaign represents a set of work that must be delivered. In a project based manufacturing company, a production order relates to various work that must be done to produce some finished goods. Whatever name is used for them, these projects involve resources, items, schedules, and cost, and the project management and accounting functionality can help with the planning, execution, and analysis of these projects. There are three main phases involved in a project. They are initiation, execution, and project analysis. Let us now see how a project structure is built. For a project management and accounting, there has to be a team for executing the activities, for coming up with the estimations, forecasting, and budgeting. Once a project has been awarded and a contract has been linked with a particular project, the next thing is to consume and to record cost and resources associated with the projects. For project cost consumption, there are project documents such as timesheets, expense reports, vendor invoices, which further then move on with the project transactions such as hours, item, expense, fee, and on account. All these transactions, when posted in Dynamics 365 Finance, basically hits their respective ledger account. Based on the billing rule that is defined on the contract, companies do invoicing to the customer, and further, the revenue recognition process is run so as to recognize the revenue over a period of time for the project that is executed. Now let us go phase by phase and see what are the details involved with each phase of a project, starting with the project initiation. During project initiation, several key processes occur. You can use a project quotation to communicate the estimated labor, expense, and material to the customer. You can record the billing terms, limits, and agreements in a project contract. You can use a work breakdown structure to plan and further estimate the work. You can set up forecasts and budgets to guide the project execution. Moving ahead with the second phase of the project, that is project execution. During project execution, team members or managers record work and the expenses that are incurred by using timesheets, expense reports, and other business documents. Project managers have tools that let them monitor the consumption of a budgeted amount for a project. Project managers can also order, pick, or procure materials for their projects by using project purchase orders and other business documents. Invoices are prepared and approved so that customers can be billed for ongoing work. Finally, the revenue is recognized during the process to affect the organization's financials. Last but not the least, project analysis. At its most basic level, a project is used to group transactions that record costs and then post the costs to respective ledgers. Generally, these transactions are the result of business documents such as timesheets, expense reports, vendor invoices, and inventory transactions. Dynamics 365 Project Management and Accounting holds a lot of reports which can basically cater the needs of industries implementing project management and accounting. The life cycle of a project usually starts with the estimation, forecasting, and budget that helps plan and anticipate the work and financial impact of a project. As you analyze a project, you can evaluate not only the transactions that occurred during the project, but also the accuracy of your estimations and forecasts, the utilization rates of a project team member, and the overall success of a project. Let us now get into Dynamics 365 Finance and go through the project management and accounting module, starting with the work breakdown structure template, further proceeding with the project quotation and confirmation, having the project awarded, creating a project contract, and further defining the budget and forecast, moving ahead with the project execution, such as raising purchase orders or purchase requisitions for material consumption. For doing the project consumption, creating orders like production order or an item journal, resource, timesheet, entry, and hour journal. In this demo, I'm going to take you through the processes that are involved in project management and accounting. Let us first start with the work breakdown structure. Now, what is a work breakdown structure? A work breakdown structure is nothing but a description of the work that will be done for a particular project. It is a hierarchy of tasks that represent the project team's understanding of the composition of work, size and cost, and duration of each of the component of tasks. There are basically three major aspects in terms of WBS. One is describing the work composition, second being scheduling the project, and the third being estimating the cost of each task. Let us now navigate to project management and accounting module and work breakdown structure templates. Every company, based on the line of business or services or products that they sell in the market, they can have a predefined set of work breakdown structure created in the system. These work breakdown structures can further be recalled in the quotation, where you can further edit them and make them as per the client requirements and then further send it to the customer for their review and confirmation. Let me take an existing example of the work breakdown structure, which is for an ERP implementation. As explained, there are two major aspects of a work breakdown structure. One is in terms of jotting down all the phases that are involved in the project. Second, in terms of project start and execution. Third, in terms of estimating what are the items that are going to be involved in terms of project costing, or what are the resources, or what are the expenses. Let us first go through the schedule. As you can see, each and every phase in the ERP implementation has been listed down over here, starting from planning, meetings, preliminary analysis, design, build, test, change, etc. Now, if I further go down into the planning, you can see that there is a project charter, which is the first step, proceeding with the scope, resource planning, communication plan, risk management, change control plan, quality plan, software and equipment plan purchase, project schedule. Similar to how it has been broken down under planning, all of these phases are further broken down into their respective steps. As you can see, under the meetings we have project kickoff meeting, weekly status reviews, monthly tactics meetings, project closure meetings, etc. Moving ahead with the cost estimates. You can see that under the project charter, it is a responsibility of a consultant. So as you can see that the type of transaction that has been selected over here is basically hour. Now let's say that there is a resource which needs to be taken into account. So the transaction type would be taken as hour. You can specify a project category. As you can see over here in the list, there is application development, apprentice, management consulting, software designer, documentation, disaster recovery, etc. So based on the type of transaction or phase, you can select the appropriate project category. You can specify how many hours is estimated for this particular phase and what is the estimated cost price. Similarly, you can define it under each and every phase. As explained earlier, the transaction type either can be a resource, which is manpower, or an item, or an expense, or even a fee journal. Now let us take an example of an item. As you can see, under the phase procure hardware and software, you can see that the transaction type selected is item, and the item code, what is required, has been selected over here, along with the details of quantity and the estimated cost price. Let us now make use of the same work breakdown structure as a sample and then use them in giving a quotation to a customer. For quoting to a customer using project management, you need to navigate to project management and accounting module, quotations and project quotation. You may click on new to create a new project quotation. You can select the respective customer account and you can see that after selecting the customer account, the respective details pertaining to the address, contact information, everything, whatever has been defaulted on the customer master has automatically populated on the quotation creation form. You may give additional information like customer requisition number, reference number, etc. Now this is just an initial phase where we have not even created a project. So as you can see, the project field is basically empty. But if you were to create a project quotation for an existing project, then you would have had this project ID already filled in. Based on the customer that is selected in this quotation, the currency has automatically defaulted. However, you have a provision to change this particular currency. Let us now proceed ahead with creation of a project quotation. Based on the initial inquiry from the customer, I know that this quotation is for an ERP implementation. So before even jotting down the lines that is required for the customer, I'm going to simply navigate to work breakdown structure. As we mentioned earlier, we already have a work breakdown structure template which is created and predefined in the system. All we need to do is click on import and select the respective work breakdown structure. In this case, it being ERP implementation, and then say OK. The system is going to ask whether you want to import the same rate card as it is, which was defined in the work breakdown structure template. You may say no, in which case the rates won't be reflecting here, and you may say yes, in which the rates as it is, which is defined in the work breakdown structure template, is going to get copied. As you can see, the work breakdown structure template we've recalled has gotten published for the current project quotation. Based on the project plan and execution, you may change the task start and end date as and when required. Also, you may change the project category. Moving ahead with the cost estimates, based on the scope of the project, you can define what are the items which are required for each phase. For example, if the project charter is not required, then it can be removed. Or else, if it is not the consultant who is going to do the project charter and it's the project manager, then you can make a change here by selecting the respective category of a project manager. Based on the time that has been agreed for this particular project, you can change the number of hours as well as the cost price which is estimated. Once the schedule and costing has been defined, all you need to do is save. Now going back to the project quotation, all I need to do is go to generate and then say create quotation lines from work breakdown structure. As you can see, after generating the lines from the work breakdown structure, it has brought the lines in terms of hours, items and expenses as it is into the project quotation. Once the project quotation lines have been created, the next step is to basically send this quotation to the customer. However, prior to sending the quotation, there is one major important step which is involved in Dynamics 365 Finance, which is basically submit this quotation for workflow approval. Based on the hierarchy set, this particular quotation is going to go to those respective authorities for their approval. Once the quotation has been approved by the higher authority, then we will get a go ahead and an access in the system to proceed further with sending the quotation to the customer. As you can see, earlier the status of the quotation was submitted, and now after it has been sent for workflow approval and approved by the higher authorities, the status has changed to approved and the send quotation button has gotten enabled. Clicking on the send quotation is going to bring an action form from where you can basically decide whether to print this particular quotation on the screen and then have it converted as a PDF, or even have this quotation sent to the customer directly. Clicking on OK is going to have the status of this particular quotation changed as sent. As you can see, the status of the quotation was earlier approved, and now after sending the quotation to the customer, it is changed to sent. However, it is possible that during the negotiation with the customer, there could be a lot of changes in the existing quotation. If you need to revise the quotation, you may always do it by clicking on revise, in which case the lines are going to be editable. After the lines are editable, you can either remove a particular line or add an extra line item, or change the quantity and unit price, and further follow the same process of submitting it for further approval from your higher authorities. After having it approved, sending the quotation to the customer. Let us now assume that everything has gone well, the customer is happy with the quotation, and then he further wants the order to be processed. What the user needs to do is to go to follow up and then say confirm. By clicking on confirm, the system is going to give you a form wherein you can either print the confirmation or have it converted into a PDF or even send the confirmation quotation to the customer. Now that the quotation has been confirmed and sent to the customer, you can see that the status is changed to confirmed. Also, there is a feature over here which basically says transfer to project. Now that the quotation is confirmed and the customer is happy with proceeding with the order, click on transfer to project, which basically opens a wizard form to have all these details in the quotation to be converted as a project. As you can see, there is a provision to select whether it is an existing project to which I want all the details to be published or whether it is a new project. Here you need to select what is the respective project group and now create a new project contract. Now this quotation which was created was already linked with one of the existing customers. So I'm going ahead and selecting the same customer and creating a project contract. In cases where it is not an existing customer and it's an opportunity, by having the project quotation confirmed, the system will automatically create a customer account for you. Proceeding with the next step, this is basically the form wherein system is asking whether I would want all the details in the project in terms of cost, that is resources, items or expenses converted as a project forecast. As you can see on the screen, the project ID has been generated, which means that the system has created a project by using the wizard. And all the details that were there in the project has been transferred to this respective project. At the time of creating a project using the project wizard, we saw that the project lines in terms of hours, cost and expenses were automatically carried forward to the forecast. Under Plan tab, if you go to all forecasts, you can see that all the items in terms of resources, hours and expenses have automatically been carried forward to the forecast of the project. Now that the project forecast has been defined, what is the next step in terms of validating whether all the expenses are within a project budget or not? So let's go to project budget and define the project budget before even we start with the execution. Now in this case also, it is not mandatory that you need to define the project budget line by line manually. However, you have the provision to do so as well. Now since that we have already created a work breakdown structure and we know what are the items and what are the expenses in terms of having the project executed, we can straight away have them retrieved from the work breakdown structure. All you need to do is go to import. The source type you can select either as forecast or as WBS estimates. You can either summarize them by category in terms of resource, hour or expense, or leave them as it is and then say OK. You can now see that the project budget has successfully been inserted from the work breakdown structure. If there are any further changes that needs to be amended in the existing budget, that can be changed and then further submitted for approval from higher authorities. As you can see on the screen, now the workflow for the budget has been approved and now we can further proceed with the execution of the project. So earlier, as per the process flow, what we have done till now is we actually created a project quotation by using the work breakdown structure template, which was already predefined in the system. We made the changes as per the client requirement. We sent it to the client for his confirmation. After having negotiations and decision was made to further proceed with the project, in which case a project quotation was actually converted to a project. We then created a project contract selecting the same customer and then copied all those lines in terms of item, resources and hours as a project forecast. Using the same work breakdown structure, we also defined the project budget, send it for approval, and now the project budget is approved and ready for project execution. As per the project plan which is defined in the work breakdown structure, we've seen that under the project charter, the consultant is basically supposed to spend 16 hours of his time at the rate of 180 euros. Let us now use the hour journal and consume this particular cost and see how it is basically validating it with the project budget. Moving on to the hour journal, the hour consumption can either be tracked directly from the hour journal or by entering a timesheet in the project management and accounting module. So while defining the hour journal, it is very important that you give what is the transaction date. The project ID gets automatically copied from the project that you are in. And as you can see, you must link this particular hour journal or any consumption for that matter with the respective activity. This activity is nothing but the phases which we had defined in the work breakdown structure. As you can see, the hour journal that I'm going to consume is against the planning action. So under the planning phase, I'm going to select project charter here. The category that I defined the work breakdown structure was against a consultant, and hence in the hour journal, the category to be selected is the same as that of a consultant. It is up to the company to define whether the hour journal needs to be consumed against a particular resource or a category. If the exact resource needs to be taken into account, then the resource must be selected over here in the hour journal. As you can see on the screen, the number of hours that I've entered against the hour journal is 200. And as soon as I enter the quantity as 200 hours, you can see that the system has basically validated it against the project budget. On the top of the screen, you can see an info log saying that the entry for the category consultant with activity number on project has caused the project budget cost to be exceeded by 33,120. This is because we have defined a project budget whereby we basically copied all the lines from what is defined in the work breakdown structure, and the budget has been approved. The budget set for this particular activity was 2880, whereas what has been given in the hour journal to be consumed is basically exceeded by 33,120. Budget validation is nothing but an option which can be enabled and disabled in Dynamics 365 Finance. However, it is up to the company to decide whether it is only supposed to be a warning or the system is supposed to hard stop if any activity consumption is basically exceeding its budgeted value. Now instead of 200, let me make it 10 and then show you how the system basically validates and allows me to proceed forward. Now that I've made it 10, the system has not thrown any error. I can validate this particular hour journal and further proceed with the posting. The example that we discussed just now was in terms of a resource consumption, but the same applies in terms of expense as well as an item consumption. If the system validates and finds that the resource, item or expense that you're intending on consuming is more than the project budget that was defined, then the system will stop from further posting. As we saw in the work breakdown structure template, other than the man resources which are required, there were items also which need to be procured or used in this particular project. Now, it is true that the project that we are implementing is basically for an ERP implementation, but it is not mandatory that all the items that are required for this project to be implemented is in our stock. Now, considering that we don't have the servers for executing this particular project and that we need to buy it from an extra or new supplier is what is going to be shown now. So let us go to the project. Now let us go to item requirements. Now item requirements are nothing but, in short, consumption of those items which were involved or included in the work breakdown structure and which needs to be consumed. Over here, I have a provision to either create these lines manually, or I can go ahead and then simply say I need these lines to be transferred either from the quotation or from the WBS, whichever later is the updated one. Considering that it was a confirmed quotation which we need to follow, let us have these lines transferred from the quotation itself. So after clicking transfer from quotation lines, you'll get to select these lines which needs to be put in the item requirement. For now, let us have the first line item, which is basically the server, brought into the item requirement form. You can select that respective line and then say OK. As you can see, Before I consume this particular item in this project, I can also have a provision to check whether this item is available in my stock or not. The quantity required for this particular implementation is 6 quantity of the OS server. As you can see over here, there is no available physical quantity for this particular item, in which case I need to have it ordered from a supplier. What I can do is, I can select this respective item consumption line, simply go to functions and then say create purchase order. Now, the system has brought me a small form wherein I can say from which supplier I need to buy this respective item and what is supposed to be the unit price for this particular item to be procured from the supplier. If there is an agreement already with this supplier, then the prices would automatically come, or the system would take in from the item card. As you can see, I have selected this particular line item for purchase. Now all I need to do is click on OK for the system to create a purchase order which is going to be linked with this respective item consumption journal. As you can see, the system has created a purchase order right here. If I need to go to the purchase order, all I need to do is simply click this reference link and it's going to take me directly to the purchase order which has been created for this particular OS server. Currently, we are in the purchase order which is created for 6 quantities of the OS server. And as you can see in the line, there is a budget check result which gives a check mark which says that the budget has been approved and everything is good to go with the procurement. Now all I need to do is confirm this particular order with the vendor, receive the material, and it's going to be consumed immediately in the project. I know the quantity for this particular item which needs to be supplied from the supplier is 6. However, just for argument's sake, I'm changing the quantity to 50 and you can see that as soon as I changed the quantity, the system has brought an error message saying that for this particular activity in the project, the budget which has been allocated has been exceeded by 89,725. So what I'm trying to show you over here is that irrespective of whatever order you follow, if the particular order has been linked with a project which has a budget defined and approved, then the system will not allow you to proceed forward by exceeding the project budget. Now I've reverted it back to 6 as it was as per our current requirement, and you can see that the budget check is checked back to green tick mark which says that everything is good to go. Now, as you know, in the purchase order, it is very mandatory for me to confirm the purchase order to further proceed with the receiving. So here I am confirming the order. As soon as the order is confirmed, I can move on to the Receive tab, Product Receipt, to generate the GRN, that is the Goods Receipt Note. In the Goods Receipt Note posting form, I can give what is the delivery order number as per the GRN. I can specify what is the GRN date and then proceed with posting the GRN to the financials. As per the process, a purchase order is normally created either from a purchase requisition or from a master planning perspective. In this case, what we have done is, in order to have the cost secured right from the item consumption journal, after getting to confirm that there is no stock, we have created a purchase order directly. Now you can see that the purchase order status is received and there would be enough stock for us to proceed with the item consumption. Considering the fact that I created a purchase order directly for this particular item which needs to be consumed in project, the system has reserved that stock specifically for this item consumption alone. What I can do for the system to consume this particular item is simply go to the posting and then create a packing slip, or what you call as a delivery note. You can say OK to proceed with the posting of this particular delivery order for project consumption. Now that the item has successfully been consumed in the project, we will proceed with the invoicing to the customer. Now that we have consumed some hours in item, we can proceed with the project invoice proposal and further with the project invoice posting to the customer. To create a project invoice proposal, you can go to the Manage tab and then create a proposal. So a proposal is a form where you will get to see all the items, hours, or whatever consumption has happened together, and you will get to select those lines or items, whatever needs to be invoiced to the customer. So as you can see on the screen, this is a project invoice proposal header. where you can see the project ID, the invoice date, etc. And under the items which needs to be invoiced to the customer, you can see hour, which is basically for 10 hours, the same as that what we had entered in the hour journal. And under the item section, you can see the OS server, the 6 quantity which we had consumed. To proceed with the posting, you can simply click on post button on the top. If the invoicing date needs to be changed, then you can change the invoice date over here and further proceed with the invoice posting to the customer. The invoice which is getting posted can either be taken into PDF or can be sent directly to the customer using his email ID. As it is for demo purpose, I'm going to print this invoice on the screen for the time being. As you can see on the screen, this is just a sample of how an invoice would look, but definitely it is not with any formatting. The formatting can be done as per the company needs. So since this is a time and material project, it's printed time and material over here. It's given what is a billing rule number, how much was the contracted value, how much was the total line amount, and if there are any taxes, then how much is the non-taxable amount and how much was taxable amount, etc. In terms of customer billing, there's also a provision whereby we can basically provide what is a retention percentage. Now the retention percentage defined gets applied on every invoice that is sent out to the customer. Now the retention percentage is basically based on the agreement that you have with the customer. So let us say a particular retention has been charged against an invoice. There's a provision in the system whereby you can basically request the retained amount from the customer and then it can be billed against the project. Similarly, there are provisions wherein you can have a customer advance also recorded for a particular project. The project that we took in this particular example was related to time and material. However, we can create a fixed price project of its own. There are cases where the project runs for a long period of time and the contract is agreed with a particular customer for a specific amount. Now, for such projects which are running for a long period of time, it is not possible for the companies to actually have the recognized value. However, in order to show their management, there has to be a provision in the system whereby the revenue can be recognized and it can be shown to the management. For such projects, which are basically of the type fixed price, there is a contract value which is agreed with the customer, and based on the cost that is incurred and the percentage of completion, the system basically calculates something which is called a revenue recognition. The revenue recognition is a process which can be followed for project types fixed price. As a part of project analysis, there are a lot of reports which are available in the system by default. For example, you can run the project statement report and see how much of the cost has been incurred, how much of an expense has been incurred against a particular project. If there are any invoices, the invoices can also be seen separately. As you can see, as per the example which we did right now, the total on account or the invoice value which we have turned to the customer is basically 26,394. Also, it is possible for us to see what is the profit and loss ratio, the value added factor, as well as the gross margin. Apart from the project statement, for a longer running projects, the management would always want to see from a particular budget which was allocated, how much of a budget was consumed. In Dynamics 365 Finance, it is possible to see the project allocation and the project consumption, after which how much is the remaining budget that can be consumed in the project based on the type, for example, hour, item and expense. As you can see in this particular example which we had taken, there were only two type of transactions which we had used. One is hours in terms of resources and one is items in terms of material.